Good morning, traders. What is happening? What's going on? What's crack-a-lacking, ladies and gentlemen? My gosh, I'm so freaking tired today. My mind is like all over the place. I cannot keep my train of thought and I cannot talk without tripping over my words. So don't judge me today. Today is a day of no judgment. This is like Planet Fitness. This is the no judgment zone. All right? Do not judge me because I'm lifting 5 pounds and you're lifting 500. All right? No judgment zone around here. All right? Don't drop those weights either. But ladies and gentlemen, good morning and happy Thursday. It is August 19th, 8:55 in the morning. And guys, I tell you what, market once again is moving up pretty nice. We have some good leaders on the upgapper list, some low float plays. Good news overall. There is some great opportunity in the market. This morning, I was able to grab a small 50 shares for the small account of SNOA down towards around 815, and I was able to take profit around 970, and then I cut the rest at 914 for about a $66 return. I wanted to hold it, but again, I want to be able to lock in those profits quick as well. There have been some trades during the small account, and I'm like, you know what? Let's go ahead and get that nice low entry. Let's take profit, scale it, rip it, let it ride. And then the stocks always come down and stop me out at break even anyway. So with that being said, I'm going to keep my small account trading like I do with my main account. Look for the great setups, take that initial pop, lock it in. If it sets back up, take the trade again, lock in some profits, slow and steady and consistent. So yeah, it was a good morning. 8:15 SNOA taking profits around 970 and 914 for about 66 bucks. I only used about $400 on my account on that trade to make that $66 profit. So a good way to get warmed up, to get started for the day. So we're going to have an amazing Thursday. We're going to have an amazing end of this week and take advantage of all of the opportunities. So let's not waste any time. Let's go ahead and talk about what we have going on this morning and make sure we have a nice 15 to 20 minute window open to answer some of your guys' questions and to review some of your guys' tickers as well. So, Tracy, Denise, Angel, Tyler, Ed, Ruben, Anthony, good morning and happy Thursday. Money Thursday. Everybody inside chat, hit me with a good morning. Sam, Slick, Rick, Casey, Catherine, Chris, Corey, K Glow, Cole. My goodness, everybody's inside chat today. Good morning once again and happy Thursday. So let's go ahead and talk about what we got going on, ladies and gentlemen. All right, bear with me again. I'm a little tired today, a little sleepy. I don't know why. My mind's all kind of out of whack. Do not know why. So again, bear with your boy today. All right. So yeah, we're gonna start with SNOA. All right, I don't really want to talk about SONN. And the reason why is because SONN just hasn't really been doing anything besides selling off, right? We had an initial pop this morning, nice run up towards around 258, but since then, just selling on off. And I cannot find any news this morning on SONN. The last thing that I see on this play was that earnings yesterday, or was that on the 16th? It looks like that was on the 16th here on SONN. With those earnings, right, pulled back, and then we're just seeing a little bit of a bounce. So again, maybe just a little bit of a dead cat bounce. Traders coming into this play because it's, you know, down from $1 to 75 cents off of those earnings, and now it's starting to move back up. So really looking at SONN, there's no fresh news. There's no super strong, credible reason behind SONN. Casey saying social media buzz, right? But again, there's not a super strong catalyst, you know, a reason for SONN to really be moving on up. We want to find good stocks with good reasonings and make sure that that's where 80% of the traders are. And we can sit here and say that SONN doesn't have that strong catalyst. There's just some social media buzz, according to Casey, a little bit of a dead cat bounce off those earnings. Again, it just dropped from $1 to 73. We're seeing a little bit of a bounce now back up over $1. Again, pretty strong bounce from 73 cents up to 262. I think we should watch it, but I think it should be on the back burner because, again, if there are 100 traders in the market, is it safe to say that the majority are on SONN, or the majority currently on SNOA. It's safe to say that the majority of traders right now, at this point in time, 9 a.m., are currently on SNOA. All right, so what's going on with SNOA? Well, at 7 o'clock this morning, they dropped a press release. SNOA Pharmaceuticals announces expanded dental care line with a new product for professional care in the U.S. and a new product for professional and consumer care in Switzerland. So we have news. There's a credible reason for SNOA to be up 88%. We have really good volume. Almost 12 million shares traded this morning in pre-market since 7 a.m. That's when the press release dropped. That's when volume started moving in. So you're talking 2 hours. We've already traded about 12 million shares. Not bad at all. 100,000 shares is the average daily volume. So trading high relative volume, and it's the lowest float stock on the leaderboard, right at 2 million in float. So again, we have a stock with a credible reason to be moving up. We have a stock with high relative volume. We have a low float play, and we can identify and safely say that 70 to 80% of retail traders, day traders that trade penny stocks, are currently on SNOA. So right now, that's where our focus is until we see SNOA crack and fade. Then we have some back burner plays, maybe SONN, maybe BIOC, right? Maybe ESGC. So again, we have some other plays to talk about real quick, but again, SNOA meets all of that criteria to be added to our watch list and is definitely our number one watch out of the gate. All right, so that's what's going on with SNOA. Then we have BIOC getting some action, right? So BIOC right at 834, BIOC see inside, identifies tumor cells and actionable treatment biomarkers from cerebro, spinal fluid in patients with metastatic. Oh my God, there's so many big words. Why choose the day that I'm tired and my mind's not even working to drop a really crazy press release? I don't even know half the words. So keywords, right? So what are the keywords here? We got cell lung cancer. So again, they identified tumor cells, treatment biomarkers in non-small cell lung cancer. That's the keyword here on BIOC. It's a cancer-related press release. And again, there's your press release right there. They identified tumor cells and actionable treatment biomarkers for cerebrospinal fluid in patients with metastatic non-small cell lung cancer. So we have news there on BIOC. It's a lower float stock as well. 13 million in float, currently up 24%, trading 2 million shares. And on average, it trades 400,000. So we do have a credible reason here on BIOC, right? They have a press release. We're trading high relative volume. Catherine says close. It was pretty close. I tried. Again, so we have high relative volume, and we have a lower float play as well. So BIOC is the runner-up. BIOC is definitely number 2 that we should be watching. Again, it has a credible reason to be moving up. High relative volume, lower float play as well. So on BIOC, this stock currently is gapping up about 24%. So let's go ahead and clear the drawing set. And let's go ahead and mark up our levels of support and resistance and see how high this play could go. So right off the bat, I'm seeing support back down towards around $4. We have 200 SMA resistance right there around $4.95. So right now, we have about a $1 window of opportunity. $4 support, room to the 200 SMA. Now, if this stock is strong enough, and this stock breaks over that 200 SMA, we do have room up towards around that $6.16 level. $6 to $6.16. So again, $4 support, $5 top resistance, over 5, room to 6, and then right around $6.16 here on BIOC. Then we have like ESGC. Again, this stock's not doing anything right now. This stock is not doing anything right now. So why are the shares trading higher? Why is ESGC even gapping up 17%? Well, yesterday, shares are trading higher following a deadline report titled EROS, STX, and Amazon Prime Video expanded output deal to South Africa. STX re-ups the deal. So again, shares are trading higher after that press release yesterday. So we saw the initial pop. off that news, some nice consolidation, some nice action last night in post-market. Right now, giving quite a bit of everything back. But I do want to keep ESGC on watch. Not only did we see a nice dead cat bounce, and we had the news to support the bounce, we are gapping up, but right now we are pulling back into yesterday's highs. So, as long as ESGC holds above yesterday's highs, I definitely think we could get that leg back up to 85 cents and then potentially up to that $1 mark. So this is a cheap play. It's definitely an ideal candidate for the small account. Again, we have a lot of opportunity to the upside with a little amount of risk here. Looking for ESGC to hold above that 73-cent level. That is yesterday's highs. Run back up to post-market lows, pre-market lows before the crack, right around 84 cents. And then anything over 84, we have good room and good opportunity back up to $1. So I would honestly say ESGC is the number 2 watch out of the gate. I'm definitely watching SNOA as my number 1 stock, right? ESEG is my number 2 play that I'm watching. And then BIOC is number 3, right? So that's what I'm looking at. PMCB, I know you guys are probably going to ask about PMCB. I'm not even looking at it, right? They came out with a direct offering. The stock is getting absolutely destroyed. If this stock ever hits one of our scanners, it'll alert us. We can bring our attention to it. But yesterday, PMCB price action was really off. I personally put it on my shit list, my do not trade list. A lot of really decent setups, a lot of rug pulls, a lot of rug pulls, a lot of rug pulls. Very weird price action on PMCB yesterday. Now, don't get me wrong. There were a couple good setups. The halt strategy, that was a winner. But a lot of rug pulls throughout the day, really making me not like this stock. Right? And then seeing the company issue a direct offering and seeing the stock go from $12 and dump all the way to $4 here in pre-market, why even look at this play? Why even consider PMCB right now? This stock is probably going to sit sideways and do nothing until the company issues and drops another press release. So I would not even be looking at PMCB. Again, until the company issues another press release, I doubt anything happens with PMCB. All right, team. So with that being said, if you're in it, just monitor it, observe it. If we ever have a press release that starts shooting back up, get that opportunity to possibly break even. But again, PMCB right now, really nasty sell-off. Again, from $12.46 all the way down to $4.13. I highly doubt this stock gets any attention towards it. And then last but not least, back burner sleeper play, VRPX. This was Tuesday's top gainer, over 200%, gapping up, hitting highs of $39 yesterday just to sell on off. But here's why I like VRPX. Number 1, pulling back into Tuesday's resistance, right around 16.29. Also pulling back very close to that 61.8 fib. We came down yesterday and bounced off the 50. This morning in pre-market, held that level up for a little bit of a bounce. Dropped below it momentarily, but again, tested that high from Tuesday, and we're starting to see it bounce on up a little bit. Another reason I like it, we're in this nice big falling wedge formation into those 2 key levels of support. And to top it off, just a little bit of some bullish divergence. The stock right here put in a low at 1743. On the chart, we put in a lower low at 1630. But we see the RSI holding on up. We see just a little bit of this bullish divergence on VRPX on a 15-minute chart, breaking out of this wedge formation above support. I think we could see VRPX get a little bit of hype today and definitely tomorrow here on VRPX. So let's keep this one on watch above $16 outside of this wedge formation and see if we can re-break 20 for that next leg up towards around 26, 30, 34, and possibly even $39 and above here on VRPX. So this is one of my back burner sleeper plays of the day, right? But again, if you're just now tuning in, number 1 stock that I'm watching here, out of the gate, when the bell goes ding, 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 SNOA, right? Followed by ESGC, above 74 cents, room to 84, room to $1. BIOC, support at $4, resistance at $5. That's the 200 SMA. Breaking over the 200 SMA, we have room to 6 and then 616. And then my back burner sleeper play, VRPX. PX, right? And then for options, we're really just watching the SPY, right? All eyes on the S&P today. One thing that I want to point out is the last few times we've seen the markets overreact, we've recovered very quickly and very nicely. Back here in early June, the market overreacted. We had a multi-day sell-off right into this daily trend line and recovered very quickly in the new all-time highs. Same thing here in July. The market overreacted, sold off, recovered beautifully in the new all-time highs. When did that drop start? The drop started like 6:15, and then it recovered. The second drop, 7:15, recover. Right now, the drop started just a few days ago, right around 8:15. So it seems like every month around the 15th, market has a couple issues, recovers beautifully. Market has some issues, recovers beautifully. Market overreacting based on the Fed news, right? I think we can see a nice recovery. Again, we're coming into this daily trend line, number one. Number two, we just bounced off the 50% fib, but we are coming down into the 61.8 fib. The 61.8 fib lines up beautifully with this uptrend. Look at the last pullback from low to high before the overreaction and the market started to sell off. Where did it pull back to and bounce? The 61.8 fib and the trend line. Here we go. Next leg up, pulling back into the trend line, and that trend line falls right at the 61.8 fib as well. So my key level that I'm looking at on the SPY is 431. Anything over 431 and we start to see some volume and some action move back into the SPY, I'm looking for calls. I'm looking for calls going a few weeks out here on the SPY. Looking to stay above that 431. That's the trend line. That's the 61.8 fib retracement on a 4-hour chart. We are very oversold as well. And look at it as well. We were overbought. We dipped down, right? Oversold. Shoot right back up to overbought. Dip down to oversold. Shoot back on up to overbought. Dipping down into oversold conditions. And again, we have 3 separate reasons we could see the SPY recover really nice and get that next leg up back over the 447 all-time highs on the SPY. So again, I'm watching the SPY very, very closely. Depending on what the SPY does, if we start to see that recovery, we see the technicals holding on up, and it looks like we're going to get that strong recovery over the next maybe week, that may give me an opportunity to bring my averaged cost basis down on the Apple calls, on the AMD calls, to try to get back to break even middle of next week. Right now, the fact that the market's curling on over, absolutely killing the Apple calls and the AMD calls. But the thing is, before entering that trade, I came into it with the mindset is, what if something crazy happens in the market? It's an option. It could go to 0 just like that. So options I have to treat differently than equities as far as what I'm willing to risk, what my max investment is, just in case those worst case scenarios, right? Worst case scenario with penny stocks is you see something like, what was it, SESN, $6, halted, gapping down to 74. I never invest more than 20% of my portfolio into any given trade for penny stocks. Options, I have a 5 to 10% rule because I realize anything can happen. And that stock could gap down the next day off bad news and that option go to 0. So I'm not investing 20% of my portfolio. I'm investing 50% of my portfolio in an option. I invest 5 to 10%. So when I was buying AMD calls and Apple calls, I was not investing any more than 5% of my portfolio in those calls. So worst case scenario, let's say they expire worthless and they go to shit, right? I am not risking any more than 10% of my portfolio. It's a lot, don't get me wrong. But again, we have opportunity to recover. Yeah, it's a 10% loss, but it's very easy to make that back, still having your account to trade with, living the trade another day, and always making sure that you're taking the right trades and you're not over leveraging yourself. You're not putting too much into one given trade. So even if AMD goes to shit and Apple goes to shit, I still have my entire account and I can easily recover from those 2 little losses. But again, looking at the SPY, if we see this setup, these key technicals are being validated and honored, that may give me that opportunity to bring my cost basis down on both AMD and Apple and look for that short-term recovery to the upside to try to get back to break even or maybe even in the green on those 2 calls. So that's what I'm looking at there on AMD and Apple and kind of my approach and what I'm looking at to still manage those trades appropriately. but definitely looking at the SPY as well, as we've seen a lot of volatility, a lot of movement. These options are moving really, really nice. There's a lot of opportunity for profit with SPY options. They're cheap, they move quick. We have 3 expirations a week. Overall, our focus over the next couple of days, in my opinion, should be on the SPY. All right, when we're looking at options, should definitely be looking at the SPY, 80% of our focus there. All right, team. So again, we are at 9:15 in the market. We know the penny stocks. We know exactly what we're looking at for options. Again, 80% of my focus is on the SPY. Depending on what this one does, that may be give me that opportunity to average into AMD and Apple to try and recover from that loss just a little bit. All right, but worst case scenario, they go to 0 or I cut them because the SPY's not holding on up. I take a loss, but again, I still have my entire account, right? Because I was smart with what I was investing in those AMD calls and Apple calls, and I still live the trade another day and recover from that loss. All right, traders. So I like VRPX. I think we have some opportunity, right? I don't love it. I do like it. I'm wanting to see if that one can hold above that 16 today and get that next leg up today and tomorrow. Looking at the SPY, but the number one penny stock that I'm watching out of the gate is SNOA. Again, SNOA above 10 has room to 13 and then has room up towards around $15. So SNOA is my number one watch here for the day, followed by ESGC above 74, followed by BIOC, and then the back burner sleeper play, VRPX. Hogwire, can you give a look at TGGI? Absolutely, TGGI. If TD will put it in, TGGI. So right off the bat, the first thing I noticed, nice big pop, oversold, obviously due for a pullback because it just ran from, oh, that's an OTC stock. I didn't even realize it was an OTC stock. I'm not a fan of OTCs, but again, nice push, pulled back, healthy decreasing volume pullback. Along those 2 days of upward price movement, right? Increased volume, that's healthy. 2 days of pulling back, decreased volume, but here we just bounced on less volume, right? So this bounce wasn't with more demand, with more volume. That tells me that that was a little bit of a weak bounce and it may not get that hype back up over 6 cents. But I would be watching TTGI above that 0.006. So not even 6 cents, 0.006. Over 0.006, you do have room to 1 penny. But again, looking at the volume, right? We just had a nice little bounce from around 0.003 to 0.005, but it occurred on less volume. To me, that shows weakness, and I doubt it does too much. But again, over 0.006, it does have room to a penny, and right now, you want to see this hold above 0.003. My plan, right? My plan currently on AMD and Apple is to still work with the trade. It's unfortunate the market turned over, right? Completely killing AMD and Apple. But again, I'm really focused on the SPY. I don't want to get emotional and be like, let me just cut these. And then we see the SPY come down, hold that level, and see a nice recovery in like 2 to 3 days. So I'm still looking at a potential good recovery on the SPY. That's going to help those other plays recover as well. Maybe that gives me an opportunity to, again, they're dirt cheap right now. Again, I mean, I think I'm down like 50%. So I could possibly average in, bring my cost basis down for a little bit of money. If I'm okay with that risk, when the time comes, I'll assess and see if it makes sense to possibly get back into the green if the market recovers. But look at the SPY. The last couple of times that we've came down, we bounced, right? Within 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, back up to those prior all-time highs. Look at the last one, right? Came all the way down to that level within 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, we're back up at those all-time highs. Again, I'm not saying it's going to do that exactly. Today's a brand new day. This is a brand new month. But I'm looking at prior price action. When we came down into those key levels and recovered, it recovered in 3 to 4 days. Here, when it recovered in 3 to 4 days. If we start to see this down at this level and it starts to recover, 3 to 4 days, that puts us middle of next week. So that's what I'm thinking is if the SPY holds those key levels, we see a similar recovery and it shoots right back up, a strong recovery like we've seen the past 3 times, that gives me hope still, right? Not hope, but logical reason to continue to hold AMD and Apple to possibly recover some of those losses. So right now, I am not going to cut those. I came into it with a mindset of worst case scenario. If they go to shit, they go to 0. That's my max loss. Only invest what you're willing to risk worst case scenario. And that's what I came into it with the mindset. That's why I only bought 3 calls. I didn't buy 10. I didn't buy 20. I bought 3, right? I bought 3. So I'm still going to be patient. I'm taking the emotions off the table. I'm not looking at the P&L. I'm not looking at what the percentage down is. I'm looking at the technicals, looking at the SPY. If we start to see some nice action here and we see what we want to see, that's definitely going to help Apple. That's definitely going to help AMD. And that would get me to recover some of those losses. Maybe not 100%, but definitely better than what it currently is right now at this point in time. So again, SNOA, this one has room to 13. Over 13, room to 15. Right now, support is back down towards around $9.70, right? I would say $10. I'd like to see $10 hold, but if $10 cracks momentarily back into this uptrend, that would put you right around that prior high from pre-market and that retest right around $9.69, $9.70 there on SNOA. What about RSLS? RSLS was gapping up, but right now it's not even on the leaderboard from what I can see. RSLS on the 16th reported earnings. Saw a little bit of a dip off earnings, and then it's simply just bouncing back on up. A little bit of a dead cat bounce here, right into that 20 EMA. It is gapping up from around 360 and hit highs of 472, but look at that price action. Look at how choppy this chart is in pre-market. You see how choppy that one looks? Doesn't look clean, doesn't look consistent, doesn't look like there's any activity here. Go look at like SNOA. Look at how clean this one is. Slow, steady, consistent, clean. We can see there's volume, we can see there's activity, and this is where traders are at. So on RSLS, it's already made a pretty substantial move. I highly doubt RSLS gets the hype and gets the attention today. If it does, right? If it does, I mean, it has room back up possibly to like 402. It breaks over 402, maybe back up to like 461. But honestly, looking at it here in pre-market, I would not really want to be paying too much attention to this play, as I think we have much better opportunity. Much better. BIOC, definitely better opportunity. SNOA, heck yes. ESEG, most likely. And then we do have a nice little back burner play at VRPX. So again, we'll watch RSLS and see if it hits any of our high day breakout scanners, high day momentum scanner. But with that being said, simply just looking at RSLS, it's easy to see that there's not a lot of hype, there's not a lot of activity, right? If there's 100 traders in the market, there's probably like 5 traders on RSLS. There's probably like another 5 on ESGC, maybe another 5 on BIOC, maybe another 5 on VRPX. But 80% of the volume, 80% of the activity and the attention right now is currently on SNOA, and that's where our focus needs to be as well. Again, good morning. My goodness. Tyler, Anthony, Ed, Denise, Tracy, Cody, Adam, Clint, Kelly, everybody on YouTube. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Happy to have you here. Good morning, and let's have an awesome day. Yo, Ryan, what is good? Good morning and welcome. So right now we have about 6 minutes to go. Do we have any final questions, comments, concerns, or tickers that you guys are currently looking at? And you know what I'm looking at. You know I'm watching the SPY, as my 80% focus with options is the SPY. And you know what I'm looking at with penny stocks. Jody, good morning. So let's make today your best day yet. If you're coming into the day red on any of your trades, if you're coming into the day with a red day the prior day, whatever the case is, whatever that negativity may be, what may be hindering you from staying logical and staying smart in the market. Disconnect from that. Today's a brand new day. Today, there are going to be brand new opportunities for profit. Whatever happened yesterday, the day before, in the market, red day, red swing, whatever the case is, let it go. It happens. That's the stock market. You cannot win 100% of the time, but if you position yourself correctly on your trades, you should never be in a position to where you're hurting. You should never be in a position where the loss is too much. Man, I'm really getting hit hard. I'm losing my ass. You should never be in a position to have that, right? You have to position yourself correctly in your day trades, in your swing trades, in your investments. There's a strategy and approach behind everything. So again, if you have some of that lingering, disconnect. It's a brand new day with brand new opportunities and brand new energy. Let's get fired up. Let's get hyped up, and let's make today your best day yet. Again, a brand new day, brand new stocks, brand new opportunities for brand new profits. Let's go. Let's make it happen. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. I don't know the words, but it sounds right. Let it go. Let it go. Yeah, that's what is it? Is that Frozen? Yeah, that's Frozen. Yep. We can play Frozen. Just let it go. Let it go. If you position yourself correctly in your trades, right? There should be no reason that you're emotional. No reason that you're hurting. No reason that you're frustrated, because you came into it knowing what the worst case scenario outcome was. I came into Apple knowing worst case scenario, I could lose X amount of dollars. I came into AMD with the knowing of what the worst case scenario could be. So I'm not frustrated that I'm down, because I already knew that worst case scenario, I could take that kind of loss. And that's something that I accepted, right, before executing and getting into the trade. So that's what you have to do. That's what you have to do. You have to be okay with taking those losses. And how are you okay with taking a loss? It's by knowing what you're getting yourself involved with before executing that trade. Knowing what your risk can be and accepting that risk before clicking buy. That's how you stay emotionless in the market. That's how you stay sane. That's how you stay in the game day in, day out. The voice of an angel, real little spaz. And then Catherine comes in. Let's not get crazy. Hey, it is the voice of an angel. Come on now. See, that was amazing. That was amazing. See? If you ever wake up in the middle of the night and you see an angel floating over you, flapping its wings, glowing, beautiful and bright, just hear this. This is what you're going to hear. You're going to think of Josh. Let's hope you don't wake up with an angel over you, because that probably means something happened in your sleep. Bruh. I'm dead. Oh, man. Let's have an awesome day. And once again, team, let's make today your best day yet. Let's rock and roll. Let's have some fun. And let's figure out where that opportunity is. And let's see, let's put ourselves in the best of the best positions to just have an amazing day and make some great profits, guys. We have about 1:40 to go. 1 minute and 40 seconds to go. Let's get hyped up. Let's get fired up, team. And let's have an awesome day. 1 minute and 30 seconds. Any final questions, comments, and concerns? Tracy, you missed the intro. It was on. I could run it again, but it'd take about 2 minutes. AZRX. We got a minute. AZRX. AZRX, I don't see any hope for it. I mean, gapping down back below the 50 SMA on the daily chart. Back below that gap level right there at 70 cents. I mean, it filled the gap. It tried to pop, closed nasty red right back below the 50 SMA. I don't see any hope for AZRX. That was a play yesterday, right? That was our play yesterday from what, like 69 up to 80 cents. It actually hit 85. Again, right now, I don't see any hope for AZRX at all. Gapping down the day, back below the 50 SMA, back below 70 cents. I think we got some better opportunity out here in the market, guys. Definitely think we have some better opportunity out here in the market. So let's get fired up. Let's get ready. The market opens in 10 seconds. Right now, SNOA, my number one watch, back down towards around the VWAP, back down towards around the trend line and that prior high, right around $9.70 for the dip. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. Right now, SNOA, number one watch team. PMCB was a direct offering today, and it completely got destroyed from 12 bucks down to 4 off an offering. That is the last thing you want to do, is be in one of these penny stocks, the company drop an offering. Ugh, terrible stuff. Just terrible. You got me crying, laughing. Oh. So keep on doing that. AMC just went up. All right, I'll go look at AMC real quick, and I'll sing to it. Oh, don't let it go. Don't let it go. Just run to 40. Pay the team. Pay the team. Or I'm gonna go to the movie theater and blow it up. You don't want it. No, we're done here. We're done. We're freaking done. We're done. Right now, traders. SNOA halted to the upside. This right here is going to flush a lot of people out. The ones that don't like me, the ones that think I'm weird, that's okay. You got to deal with it. If you're in the streams, you're in chat, you got to deal with it. I'm a weirdo. I make a fool of myself quite a bit. But hopefully you guys can laugh at me, right? Just laugh at me. My stupidity makes you guys laugh a little bit. That's what it's all about. Trader girl Beth. Beth is like, oh, stop it. Stop it, Josh. Just stop it. Just please. Just shut up. Yep, SNOA currently halts to the upside. I still like SNOA back around that uptrend. Again, we were looking at AMC over that 36 level, guys. Again, AMC needs to stay above that 20 EMA, right? We want to see this one closing and staying above the 20 EMA. And if it can do that, we can see the next leg higher above the 20 EMA. Why is the 20 EMA so significant? Why do I talk about it? Well, the only reason it's significant is because of how many times it was resistance in the past. We just broke above it. If this stock is strong, if this stock is going to get to 40, we want to see it holding above that 20 EMA, and that's right around $35.90, right? That's right around $35.90 on AMC. So that's the level that you want to see hold there on AMC, guys, all right? Yeah, VRPX is getting a little action towards it. Still something worth keeping on watch. Coming down and filling the gap. Possibly room back up to like $22, $23 here on VRPX. Definitely something to keep on watch here above that $16 level. SNOA halted at 9:31.13. You'll be live at 9:36.13. You got about 2 minutes to go here on SNOA before it's live. Let's see how many people we can drop out of chat and off the stream. I'm going to sing again, guys. I'm going to start singing again. Yes, 9:36.13, and I love what you just did, Real Little Spaz. You took it and you posted it for other members inside of chat. Awesome stuff. So again, hey, you could add in SNOA on halt time. Boom. 936.13. I love it. That's what we all need to do inside of chat. Make sure that we're just engaging, being credible, and trying to help everybody out as one big happy family, one big team. So I love it. I love it. Guys, you're looking at my beautiful face. You need scanners. There you go. There you go. We're all set, ready to rock, team. We're all set, ready to rock. Rocking and rolling. Rolling and rocking. Be like me. Posting that direct link to NASDAQ. I love it. So 936.13. You guys keep up the good work. We're going to have some more team leaders here inside of chat. I pay you in hamburgers. I pay you in McDoubles, if that's okay. No gap up. SNOA has room to 13, over 13, room to 15. Right now, I'm waiting for the stock to pull back. I want to see it pull back. Not buying at the highs. Definitely not buying at the highs. But here's one thing that I want to be mindful of as well. Just because that trend line is all the way down that 432 doesn't mean it's going to come down that low. It is holding above the 50% retracement, which is also a key imbalance zone, right? You can see prior resistance, a lot of support, right? Crack down below, resistance and support right around that 434.62, which is where we came down to here in pre-market, and it's also that 50% fib. So let's see if the SPY can start the rip back to the upside. And hopefully, not hopefully, but maybe that helps some of our trades get some action, right? Maybe, just maybe. Again, we're just keeping everything on the watch right now. Taking it one day at a time. ENSC halted to the upside. Let's check it out real quick. ENSC. What's up with ENSC at 9:35? Halted. ENSC 8 o'clock. They're to host satellite with Dr. Jeffrey. Okay, so I mean, there's not like super credible news. It's just a little press release about they're hosting satellite symposium with Dr. Jeffrey Gooden on September 9th. So, I mean, okay, that just got a little random 10,000 share pop halted. That's not worth looking at, in my opinion. Right now, again, SNOA really just trying to identify the best pullback level for a trade. Again, it's only 8 minutes into the market. Again, if you're not in anything, it's okay. It's only 8 minutes, guys. You're only 8 minutes in. Again, BIOC over $4. It has room to 5. Run a downtrend on the play. We hold above 4, break the downtrend, watch for a nice little pop to the upside. ESEG, that stock is doing nothing, coming off that watch list. So right now, really it's just SNOA. That is the number one watch. S to the N to the O to the A. We will go look at SONN real quick. SONN is getting some action towards it. SONN has room to that 200 SMA, which is right there, right around like that 205 level, right around 205. Breaking over 205, we could see it back up towards pre-market highs of 262. So definitely watching SONN as well. Again, this one doesn't have any real credible reason to be moving on up today. Just that social media chatter behind it. Again, I like BIOC. I do like BIOC over 4. Breaking this downtrend, I do think we could see some nice hype here on BIOC. So all eyes here on BIOC above 4. Let's see if we can break the downtrend. We have room to 5 and possibly even room up towards like 6. But again, that's breaking over that 200 SMA right around 495. But at least it has room, you know, maybe $1 to the upside here. Slow and steady on BIOC. So right now, SNOA does have room to pull back to $10, right? $10, or right off those pre-market highs, right around 11, right? Right around $11. So again, right now, $11, below 11, back down towards around that $10 mark, maybe even like that 970-ish level. They're on SNOA. Right now, $13 resistance, which is also the high a day. Room to 15.16. Right around $15 there. Right now, SONN finding support right around 180, but it only has room to 206. So you're talking like 20 to 25 cents to the upside. BIOC trying to stay above 4 here. Let's still keep this one on watch over the next couple minutes to see if 4 is going to hold on up for the break of this downtrend. And then just waiting for an SNOA entry. Right now, I don't want to be chasing this near high a day when I still see support back down at 11. So right now, it's just a game of patience. We're about 14 minutes into the market. Really just sitting back, being patient, and waiting for that best of the best opportunity, guys. Roku is in that sweet spot. But again, as the market's still kind of coming down, you know, that may affect the overall market to a certain extent. But Roku, I said I wanted to get it in that gray box, somewhere in like the 335s to 340s. Right now, Roku came down into that level. We're very close to this uptrend. So I'm still watching Roku on high watch over the coming days. Right now, everything's kind of struggling right now across the board. Everything is just really, really struggling large caps. Your TOS is glitchy? Yeah, it seems like everybody's having some issues with TOS today. It does seem like quite a few people. Real Little Spaz, don't get how I bought SNOA before the halt. Just checked recent orders. Not only did it buy where it shouldn't, it sold 60 cents less than where the halt happened. Try shut down, see if there's an update. Again, it seems like TOS is just a little glitchy today, so that could definitely be it. Seems like a lot of brokers lately are having some issues. I'm officially done with Webull, number one. The only reason I'm keeping Webull is for a small options account to have fun with options. Again, my bread and butter is equities, right? Our bread and butter is equities with the occasional option trades when we have those great setups, those great confirmations. So keeping some money with either TD Ameritrade or Webull for options. But my small account is going to be done on Lightspeed just because that's the broker that I like. It's the broker that I love. Been using them for, you know, a little over a year and a half, 2 years now. Again, I'm okay with paying commissions and fees, just not to have issues with my broker. Right? I'm okay with paying a little bit in commissions and fees, even on the small account, just to not have issues with a broker. Bad fills, shutting down, glitchy, laggy, not filling me, things like that. Again, over the course of a month, it's probably safe to say they'll probably take $100 to $150 in stupid losses because of platform issues. So I might as well just pay Lightspeed the $150 a month, and it's going to probably break me out even anyway. So my small account's being pushed over to Lightspeed. Slippage is just ridiculously bad on TD. Yeah, I mean, again, I'm not going to, you know, I might as well go ahead and get accustomed to the commissions and fees as that account grows. You can't. No, you can't trade a volatile stock. I mean, remember like 2 weeks ago when I was up $100. By the time the platform worked for me, I made 60. So right there's $40. Right there's $40 one day, right? How many times have I been trying to get out and I look, I'm like, oh, 20 cents later. That was 1,000 shares. That'd be $200. Thank goodness it was only, 200 shares, but still it was $40. So in the last 2 weeks, I've noticed $100 in just bad fills, the slippage, platform issues. In just 2 different trades, $100, right? So over the course of a month, I guarantee it's just as equal as what it's going to cost me to run on Lightspeed. But yes, I am switching over to Lightspeed because, again, I hear you guys saying there's issues with TD. I hear you guys saying there's issues with Webull. I personally have issues with Webull. I don't know of any other broker that I trust, right? I've been using Lightspeed for over a year and a half, almost 2 years. Absolutely love them. Only had 2 issues, and the issues were on my part. I didn't update it. So the days that I've had issues, it's because it wasn't up to date. And again, it wasn't anything terrible. But again, I've never really had any like bad fills. So again, I'm going to switch my small account over and run it there. TradeStation's something that I may look into as well. Casey's saying never had any issues with TradeStation. I may look into TradeStation. No issues. Are they free commissions and fees, or is it little commissions and fees? They're free commissions and fees, and if it's a good alternative for the small account, hey, I may go TradeStation. Who knows? Bad Rich, you're the one of the few traders that's not constantly asking to join your Discord or pay for a subscription. Love you. Again, that's not what I'm about. I'm not a salesman. I used to be, and I hated it. I hated selling. I hated it. I'm just a giver, just trying to give value, trying to give education, the most that I can for free. And if you guys want to sign up, you can. You know where we're at. You know how to sign up. I don't have to sit here and sell you on it. to me, it's about helping you guys become successful. And you'll realize, like, okay, this is the real deal. This is the guy that I want to continue to trade with and learn from. Then you'll come sign up on your own when the time's right. I'm not going to try and, force you on over. It's not about, that to me. It's about helping you guys out and just trying to push as much value as I can. So I'm glad that you can realize that and you see that. SC Weeble, yeah. I've had some issues with Weeble. Most definitely have had some issues with Weeble. Again, like 2 weeks ago on a Monday, I had a pre-market trade into the open, and I tried to get out. And remember, like 10 minutes, the Weeble platform was down for everybody. I couldn't exit my position on the mobile app or on the desktop. It's pathetic. No, we actually have a partnership with Lightspeed where we can actually get those accounts funded with as little as $10,000. So typically the deposit is $25K, but we do have a partnership with Lightspeed for our members to where you could actually get a smaller account funded on a cash account with Lightspeed, and also reduced commissions and fees. Do I think SNOA can reach 14? I think SNOA can reach 15. If this stock is strong and this stock breaks over 13 bucks, I think we see it at $15. I'm real time across the board. So yeah, I can look at TGGI. Shouldn't be delayed. No, this is real time right here, right? 951, 951. Again, not a lot of volume. Again, that was one thing that we noticed was just that light volume push to the upside. I personally think we see it curl on over. Again, when we push, we want to see increased volume. Like right here, boom, boom. Increased volume. Pulling back, healthy pullback. Right here, less volume along the last 2 days. That to me shows a little bit of weakness. I think it curls back over to 0.003 over on TGGI. IMPL halted. What's up with IMPL, guys? IMPL shares halted. Moving from yesterday, earnings. Earnings were on the 16th, and we've seen a nice little bounce here on IMPL. This one has room to 28, over $28. The sky is the limit, so 30, 35, 40, so on and so forth. Right now, IMPL is halted to the upside. Definitely worth watching. A little bit more expensive, but definitely worth watching on IMPL. Right now, again, the main focus is SNOA. Quick little pop over 13, getting rejected. I want to see the stock pull back. Want to see a nice, healthy pullback on this play. Back down, ideally maybe like 10-ish, 10 bucks. Maybe like 10 bucks. Nice pullback, level off, hold the uptrend, get the next leg up for a $13 break. I'd rather be a buyer low 10s and then look for a nice ride back up to 13, slow and steady. So again, what was the kind of market conditions that we saw yesterday? Good setups, a lot of weird price action. So keep that in mind. We're not buying these high-a-day break setups. I don't recommend it. Not buying these high-a-day breakout setups at all, right? Wait for the rejection. Wait for the fail. Wait for the pullback. Buy the dip. Then wait for the next leg up. That's what we have to do, right? That's what we have to do. You see a nice setup. Oh, it's going to flag. Take your profits quick if you're in. Scalp it. But yesterday, we saw this consistently. A lot of good setups failing and dumping, then setting up, and then ripping. So again, I'm waiting for these sloppy setups. I'm looking for these good setups to turn sloppy, come down to a key level of support, start building a position, all right, and then looking for that next leg up. So right now, I am not going to touch SNOA until I see it down towards around the trend line. I'm not touching it until I see it down towards around the trend line. Hey, Tracy, I'm loving the course that I bought from you. I used some of the earnings that you helped me get. Hey, that's awesome. Realizing that the more I learn, the more I need to learn. Yeah, the more that you learn, the more that you want to learn. You need to learn. You're hungry. You're hungry. But that's a great way to start, Tracy, right? Starting with the course. I mean, it's an amazing course. It's like the best of the best, the longest, the most structure for the least amount of money. That's a great place to start if you're a brand new trader. And then once you learn and you have a foundation, it's ready to apply what you learned in the market. And that's when you can go ahead and join chat if you want and take that, trading to the next level and apply what you've learned in that course. So I love it. Tracy taking the initiative. Tracy taking that initiative. How do you like the course, Tracy? Do you love it? Is it okay? Do you hate it? What is your honest feedback on the course? $249. I know it's shocking. It seems too good to be true. Well, when I put the course together, I put it together for new traders. I was like, what could have helped me as a new trader? And I said, probably not a cheap course, but an affordable course. The course I bought was $2,900. Right? Courses, good courses out there, they're like $2-3 grand. That's just the average in the market for a good course. A lot of the courses are like 40-50 chapters, 15 to 20 hours of content. So I was like, I'm going to match what they're doing and make it better, number one. So I matched the structure, I matched the curriculum, the duration, I exceeded on the chapters, 53 chapters. And here's the other thing, I still add to it. I'm still putting new lessons into it. So again, you're going to get it for life in every ad, every update, every new video, you get it. Number one, that's what makes this better. And then it's only $249. It's not $1 grand, not $2, it's not $3. Yeah, it's very overpriced. It all started with the first course at $100. Then someone says, I'm going to make it a little bit better and charge more. Someone else comes in, I'm going to make it a little bit better and charge more. And then over the years, you go from $100 to $3 grand. So I said, I'm going to make the course just as good, if not better. And I'm going to charge a ridiculously low price to help new traders. Because I wish there was a course that good, that cheap when I was new. And again, that's why I did it in the first place. It took me 6 months to put that bad boy together. And so far, I mean, we've got nothing but positive feedback from it. Tracy, oh my God, love it. In all honesty, it's a steal for the course. I'm glad I got it for that price, but you need to make it more expensive. That's what everybody said. Josh, you need to make it $1,000 minimum. It's $1,000 course all day. What are you doing? And even my mentor's like, what are you doing? Like, you know, the course, right? You can automate it. You could run it. It needs to be no less than $1 grand. I'm like, but that wasn't the point of doing the course. The point of doing the course was to make it affordable for a brand new trader, to give them the education they need. New traders don't have $2 grand. New traders don't have $3 grand. Maybe you do, but that may be 100% of what you have. You want to invest a little bit. You don't want to sink it all into a course. So guess what? Now you can get that value, that education for $250, and you still have the rest of the money to put into the market, into your account once you've completed the course to actually apply what you've learned. So I can't raise the price. I can't do it. I'm not going to do it. It's $250. $250. Unless you keep telling me to raise it, I'll raise it for you. No, I'm kidding. I love it. You guys are so supportive. I love each and every one of you. You guys are awesome. I love working with you. I love having you a part of the team. Love having you guys on the live streams. It's absolutely amazing. We tried to be the best of the best. We tried to make it as affordable as possible and give you more than what others give, right? That's why I do that extra step and do the private sessions, right? I don't know of anybody else that's, you know, taking 2 hours out of their day and doing private sessions, but I know that's something that could have helped me as a new trader. So that's something that I want to offer to new traders because, again, everything that I do is based on my experience. What could have helped me? What could have helped me become more successful, more faster? What could have helped me not lose so much money? What could have helped Josh 7 years ago? And everything that I do is based on what could have helped me, knowing that's going to help the new trader. How is the SPY looking? The SPY is slowly grinding little by little. It's in this little bit of a wedge, right? We can see the SPY right now is kind of wedging here a little bit, right? So that's a bearish chart formation. We can see that divergence as well. We see the RSI not really following suit with price, getting tighter and tighter and tighter. The SPY starts cracking out of the wedge. Be ready for some puts. Be ready for some puts. I'd be ready for some possible puts on the SPY. And here's the other reason why. Not only that it's wedging, but it's also coming into yesterday's low and close. And that's going to be a level of resistance. So I'm looking for possible SPY puts below 439. SPY puts below 439, cracking out of this potential wedge that we have here on the SPY. Again, we have divergence, we have the wedge, we have the stock ripping from 436 to 439 into yesterday's close. Low risk, good reward. Maybe one more little pop there. Maybe just one more little pop. Double top right there at that 439. Actually start to see it crack out of that wedge. Risking 50 cents on the chart. Making 2, 3, 4 points back to the downside out of the wedge. Right, so it's wedging. We see the divergence into yesterday's low. I think we can start to see the SPY start to curl and start to crack to the downside out of this wedge. Again, I'm waiting for one more pop. Want to see maybe 2 to 3 bars right across the top here. And then see that proper rejection. I did not get my fill. I did not get my fill. I got my fill. A starter on the SPY. Just a small little starter there on the SPY. Got filled at 98. Looking to see if we can continue to consolidate inside of this little bit of a wedge. Again, it's just a starter position on the puts. Again, it could rip and run. That's fine. It's just a starter position, so it's nothing crazy. And they move quick, they move fast, they move volatile. So, again, this one's starting to actually crack to the upside a little bit. Again, wedges are 80-20 setups. 80% of the time you see them crack and fade. Every now and then they continue to grind to the upside, but we're still right at yesterday's close. That's the level that I'm looking at. Maybe the SPY's strong and it just absolutely tears to the upside like it's doing right now. Let's see if this is actually going to be able to hold on up here. Here's SNOA. SNOA, right at the trend line, guys. Right at the trend line on SNOA. Right at the trend line. Yep. Right there at the trend line, right around that 1040-ish. Which is it's not a bad level, right? We had some resistance right around 1040. We broke above, we held as support. That's the trend line as well. So again, I would be, you'd have to probably get stops like $1 away to make it make sense. Stops would have to be like below that 970. So like $1 away, but your reward, $11.50, $12.50, right? $2.5 to the upside. So I mean, right off the bat, it's a little over a 2-to-1 there. Just a little over a 2-to-1. BIOC, break of the downtrend. Really good stuff there. Casey nailed that one. Good stuff. Getting the analysis, taking it all in, building his plan, and crushing it. So good job, Casey, there on BIOC. Way to get it. Right now, though, SNOA above this trend line has room back to 13. Risk $1. $1 risk is probably what you need to have on this play. So build your plan around $1 risk with about $2 to $2.50 of reward to the upside. Jesse, do you have Patreon? No, I don't have Patreon. I do not have Patreon. I decided to leave the stream up just for a little bit today, guys. Decided to leave it up just for a little bit longer and really just talk about the overall market, right? Today, we're in some key levels on the SPY. Again, I want to make sure you guys are all prepared and all ready to go. Are options good to grow a small account? Yes, probably the easiest way to grow a small account, but with options, there is a lot of risk. Right? It's not like you buy a share and it goes down $1, you lose $1, right? You could literally buy a contract, the stock goes down $1 and you lose 50%, right? So the stock could go down 1%, but your option could go down 50%. So there's a lot of risk with options. You have to know exactly what you're doing. Right now, SNOA. Beautiful bounce right around that trend line, guys. Beautiful bounce off the trend line. Maybe see it come back down one more time and then get that proper double bottom bounce. Definitely think we have some good opportunity here on SNOA. Maybe one more little teeny pullback here on SNOA. Right back down to the trend line. That'd give us a nice little double bottom. Breaking 11. We should see a nice pop there up towards around 13. SONN, yes, is halted to the downside. SONN halted down. This one will be live at 10:07:37. So about a minute 20 to go there on SONN. About a minute 20 to go. Jesse, how long is the one-on-ones inside a chat? An hour. We're actually going to reduce them to 45 minutes because I realize 30's just a little too light on time. An hour kind of pushes it. We usually complete in about 45 minutes, and that allows me to fit a couple more one-on-ones in per day. So our one-on-ones are now going to be 45 minutes long, but it allows me to add another spot so they're not getting filled up as quickly as they have been. So 45 minutes. Guys are still watching BIOC. Just look for BIOC to come back down. Retest old downtrend resistance as new support. That would be a bigger, higher low. You could still see BIOC get a nice rip to the upside. Again, it has a nice little channel that it's currently in. You have resistance at 444, bottom support at $4. So it's in one big channel. So again, breaking the downtrend, ripping on up. Pulling back to old downtrend resistance as new support. That would be a higher low. You can definitely see this rip back up towards around 444, 445. Breaking over 450. You do have some nice room up towards around $5. They're on BIOC. So if you're in a stock that's currently halted to the downside, your goal is right when it goes live to just try to get out, right? Stocks that halt up do what? They rip to the upside and sometimes halt again. Stocks that halt down, what do you think it's going to do? It's probably going to gap down and continue the leg down, right? 80% of the time when a stock halts to the upside, it gaps up and squeezes. 80% of the time when a stock gaps down, right, out of a halt, it usually continues to move down. The goal would be to just walk away from the trade. The goal would be to walk away and cut it. What do you talk about on the one-on-ones? Reviewing trades, right? Reviewing trades to see where they went wrong, what you guys can do better for next time. Really, it's just a nice little Q&A session. You can ask me anything, and really we try and identify where you're struggling in the market and where we need to make improvements. So really it's about identifying where you're currently at, where your strengths are, where your weaknesses are, and then really just trying to enhance those strengths to keep you focused on doing what you're doing, what's right, and then trying to tweak and work on those weaknesses to overall make your trading performance better. Yep, SNOA. I still think that, that 970 is a good level, but we do have the uptrend. As long as the uptrend holds, we're still looking good here on SNOA, right? As long as this uptrend holds, it could be one nice little double bottom above that 1040. That could definitely be the next leg up here. Wow. That's yeah, SONN is a little all over the place. Halt down, halt up. My goodness. This thing is all over the place. Right now we're looking at the good setups, right? BIOC pulling back to the downtrend as new support, putting in the higher low. BIOC definitely has a decent little setup to it. And then definitely SNOA coming on up, team. Definitely SNOA. Right now, still waiting for SNOA, maybe right back into the trend line. I want to see it right around that trend line, see if it's going to hold on up, and if so, we're all set, ready to rock. Yeah, VRPX just has to stay above that 16, 18 level and actually see it, get a nice little pop. Still seeing a little bit of that bullish divergence there. I mean, it's out of the wedge. It's really fighting to stay above that level, which was, again, Tuesday's high. So, again, Tuesday's high, trying to hold this up as support. Also right around that 61.8 fib. So, looking to see if that can actually hold that level and start to see a little bit of a bounce. But right now, below 16, it'll probably dump and fade and have no activity or attention towards it whatsoever. So SNOA is slowly getting there on SNOA. A little bit more on SNOA. I like the higher low. I like that it's still holding on up, but I'm thinking just a smidge lower. Maybe like a 1060-ish. Maybe somewhere like around 1060 right off that trend line. That's what I would like to see. But right now, it's not a bad area. Definitely not a bad little level there over on SNOA. But I personally want just a smidge lower. Just a teeny bit lower. Do you have advice for a market crash? Yeah, you can definitely not invest, but you can definitely buy UVXY and VXX, the top two inverse ETFs. So as the market is dumping, right, or crashing, or whatever the case is, which right now it's not dumping, it's not crashing, it's simply pulling back. But what you can do is in a market that is in a correction, right, that is selling on off, you can actually go long on UVXY and VXX, the top two inverse ETFs, or you could simply hedge against it and, you can buy puts. But sometimes when the market's volatile, the VIX is high, the options are out of whack, your best bet is to physically go into UVXY or VXX, those two inverse ETFs, and that's probably the easiest way to make some consistent cash. So again, when the market's dumping, depending on what options look like, every now and then I'll take puts. But most of the time, I'm going long on UVXY and VXX. Again, the inverse ETFs. So definitely looking like this could be that nice little double bottom. Start to see some action come in here over on SNOA. It did come down to that 1040, bounce back up, now holding above that 1085 here on SNOA. Definitely not a bad little area here on SNOA for that next leg to the upside. So I like it. I like the higher low potential. I like the fact that we're right off that trend line. We do have 1040 support. Looking for that higher low push back up to 13, and then over 13, it does have room to $15 there on SNOA. My risk right now is, again, that dollar of risk. I have about $2 of upside potential right now. Looking to see if we can make a couple bucks here on SNOA on the small account. Yeah, BIOC, like we said, coming down into the trend line. Look at how many times it tested and held. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's solid support traders are respecting. Old downtrend resistance, new support. We can definitely see that curl and pop back up into the 440s there. So SNOA back over 1150. That's where a lot of volume and a lot of attention can move back into this play, guys. So that's where a lot of hype and a lot of attention can move back into this play. Woo! Casey says, looking at his journal, currently at an 87% win rate for the month. That is absolutely amazing. Woo! Right now, looking for that 1150 pop here on SNOA for the leg back up towards around 13. That's where I think we can see a lot of good volume move in and start to really grind this higher back up towards around 13 bucks. Ben, yeah, absolutely. This is my full-time job. This is my full-time job. I day trade full-time. We have traders in chat that day trade full-time. I know a lot of people that day trade full-time, so absolutely. Day trading could be a full-time career, 100%. IMPL, is that doing anything? No, it's not. SONN. This one's just a little all over the place, guys. We're still going to keep it on the watch, but right now, nothing too crazy. BIOC is probably the one that you guys should be really watching right now. BIOC, off this new little double bottom, short-term double bottom, breaking back above 420, has room to 444. And right now, SNOA, looking to see if this one can get that grind back to the upside above this uptrend and above that 1040 support right here on SNOA. SNOA needs a nice clean break over 1150. Nice, clean, solid rip, run, break over 1150 and see it actually hold on up. Nice big candle would be a great way to get this thing going. Right now, if it closes red here, probably see it pull back to 1050, 1040. Right now, if we get a nice, solid, clean break over 1150 and we have a nice, strong close here on this candle, definitely think that we could see that leg up to 13. So right now, all eyes here on SNOA to see how strong we can close here on this candle here. I want to see a nice, strong close. Let's go 1160 if we can. Let's try and at least close up in the 1160s if we can. There's 1160. Got about 2 seconds left, and not a terrible close, but we want to see a very strong one to see some traders really move into that play. So still a little selling pressure, but we're still good to go right now there on SNOA. Still looking okay at this point in time. Another rug pull on BIOC. Oh my gosh. Holy, yeah. At least we haven't seen a rug pull yet. Well, I guess we kind of have. Not really a rug pull. That was just a false breakout, and then it got slammed. So that right there on BIOC was just a textbook freaking rug pull all day. All day. Last thing I'd like to see is this consolidate, and then boom, rug pull. That would be shitty. And we have been seeing a lot of that price action in the market. So look at SNOA starting to do the same thing. Just like that, down 50, 60 cents. Starting to get hit kind of hard here. That's the beautiful thing about this market. We've seen a lot of really just choppy price action. I mean, we see it on SONN. We see it on BIOC. Right? We saw it on SNOA. That's the market we're in right now, guys. Now there's SNOA back off the trend line. Let's see if this can rebound here on SONA, or not SOA, SNOA. Now, SNOA is still the #1 watch at this point in time. Still holding above this nice little uptrend from pre-market. Still trying to hold above $11 now at this point in time. It can be a little frustrating when you see a decent setup and then just nasty price action, right? Nasty price action, nasty price action, nasty price action. It's very, very unfortunate, that's for sure. And it can be a little frustrating at times, but we just have to be mindful, like, okay, if these are the market conditions and this is what we're seeing and we see it happen time and time and time again, we just need to take a different approach, right? Just a different approach. Really reduce in size, taking profits quick. Reduce size, take profits quick. And that's just how we adjust. That's how we adapt, right? We see a setup, take profits quick. Don't try and look for a rip and run and to hold its gains. Just lock in those profits as fast as possible and try and reduce your size just in case the trade works against you. It's not a big loss, it's a manageable loss. Let's see if SNOA can hold that level on up and start to get a nice little pop here. I have a $13 target on SNOA. I have 25 shares at a cost basis of $11.07. Exactly. Scalping type of market, and scalping the small account can be challenging because, again, you have little size, you scalp 20 cents, you make a whopping $5. So again, it's really trying to identify these really great low points that we could ride to the upside as much as possible. So not trying to scalp these high-a-day moves, but wait for the stock to just get sloppy, pull back, and then set back up off a low of support. Try and catch a nice little move to the upside before it gets even choppier, you know? Scalping the market on a small account is very, very challenging. Right now, that's why I have 25 shares, $11.07. Risking that dollar at most, right? At most, and looking for a good $2 to the upside, back up into the 13s here, slow and steady. That's it, just slow and steady. Not taking 100 shares, not taking 200 just because I can. I'm really trying to make sure that I'm not investing too much of my account into one given trade. Just in case that trade goes against me, I still have capital and I still have a way to take advantage of any other opportunity that would present itself. Just because I could go, you know, technically I could probably go 500 shares of SNOA, scalp it for 20 cents, make $100. I do not want to do that just in case it's one of these nasty, take a bigger loss than expected and have nothing to rebound with. So let's see if SNOA can start to get some action here, guys. We want to start to see this really start to take on off. Really want to start to see this take on off over that 1150, 1160. We do not want to see it struggle. Really just want to see it get some nice action here up over 12. We got some great opportunity to see this really start taking on off up to 13 bucks. So slow and steady wins the race. Slow and steady wins the race. Spy puts slowly working themselves back into the green now. Slowly working themselves back into the green. Took some heat on that. Was definitely shaking some traders out. But right now we're seeing that move back down here a little bit. May think about locking in some profits soon. I don't want to, go from taking heat, in the green and then back into the red. So I'll take any profit I can get in this market. Right now, SNOA is just really struggling to do anything. VRPX came down, bounced once again off that 1629. This has to be the move. This has to be the move, right? I mean, it came down and bounced once, bounced twice. If this is going to get a leg up, it needs to start moving now at this point. Underneath this low point, back below 16, it's done for. Back below 16 bucks, this thing's done for on VRPX, and we probably won't see any hype return to it. So right now, if this thing has any opportunity left in it, we need to start seeing it really rock to the upside. SNOA is just really slow right now. Really slow. Still showing some opportunity, but just really slow. Let's see if it's got any juice in it. You got some juice, SNOA? You got some juicy juice? Bad Rich, if you have a cash account, you can actually trade as much as you want on a cash account as long as you have settled cash in that account. So if you have a margin account, then yes, you're restricted to 3-day trades in a rolling 5-day period. But on a cash account, you can actually trade as much as you want as long as you have that settled cash in there. SNOA is really fighting, but it's not getting that pop, that push, that hoorah. Come on, SNOA. Just go ahead and pop 1150 for the team. Go ahead and just pop 1150 for the team. I'm really not a fan of it. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm just not a fan of this play anymore. Not really a fan of this play anymore. It's not really getting that push that we want to see, and it's had every opportunity to get it. Here and here. Right now, it's just looking a little weak at this point in time. I may just walk away from this position while I'm at break even because I do not like the price action that we're seeing here on SNOA. Do not see the price action. I'm just going to walk away from that at break even. I'm going to walk away from SNOA at break even right there, guys. I'm not a fan of the price action whatsoever. It had every opportunity to get that pop. Couldn't get it. So that was a $2 loss, $3 loss. I'll take it versus taking a bigger loss. Still up 60 bucks on the day on the first one. Right now, SPY puts are in the green, about $59 a profit, $60 a profit on those SPY puts. Getting ready to start locking in just a little bit there on SPY, up $77 now on SPY, up $85 now on SPY. Let's go ahead and start locking in some of those SPY puts. Go ahead and lock in 2 of those. Currently up 85 bucks, lock in 2, leave a couple as a runner here. Just got to be able to get a limit order in at 111, sell 2, up 93, still coming down, getting ready to place that order. Still being patient with it, seeing if it's still going to just get hit. If it starts bouncing at VWAP, I am cutting half of my puts, and I'm going to go ahead and cut half, and I got half off the table. So I just locked in about 50 bucks on half my SPY position. So again, I locked in about 50 bucks on half of my SPY position, those puts that we had. And right now, I'm trying to hold the other 2 for a little bit longer. But worst case scenario, I still make the initial 50 on the half. And if I make a little bit more on the other 2 that I currently have, then we're all set, ready to rock and roll. So I just sold 2 of those SPY puts. And you guys can see here that this morning, I bought 2 to start. I bought another 2 right around 80 cents. So I was in at about 90 cents on 4 puts. I just sold 2 of those at 111, but I got filled at 113. So I had an average cost basis around 90 cents on 4 puts. Again, just took 2 of those for about 50, and then I still have about $48 of unrealized profit and loss on the day. It's about 46 bucks. VRPX not working, AMD not working, Apple not working. Coin was a long-term one, but right now just trying to recover from these red trades here. And again, maybe if we see the SPY start to shape back up for us, you know, we could see some of these slightly back in the green. But again, this right now, I'm taking a lot of heat on a lot of these positions. So I was completely out of SNOA the second that it cracked below 11. I got out right at 11 bucks. Right now, the only thing that I'm currently in with an open position is the SPY. Current P&L on the day is 96. I'm looking to see if I can capitalize on a little bit more of this move to the downside. We had the 434 puts. They were the 434s for tomorrow. The 434s because the open interest was good. The volume was good, and they had a decent little delta as well. And they were affordable for the small account. So 434 strike. And the SPY's still looking a little iffy. And overall, looking at the SPY, like we said, is we still technically have room down into that 431 level. Into that 431 level. And it doesn't have to make it all the way down, but again, I still think if we even come down and like double bottom at the 50% fib, and that's where we put in market structure, that's still at 434.50. So those puts are definitely the right strike based on where we think the SPY can go today and tomorrow. So right now, if we look at the SPY on a 5-minute chart, when the SPY on the 5 becomes oversold, I am thinking about locking them in. So we were overbought. Once we hit oversold, if we hit oversold today, that's where I go ahead and lock in. A majority, I'm up 106 bucks on those. So again, that's what it's about, guys, right? AMD taking some heat. Apple taking some heat, right? Those are pretty much worthless right now, but we still have time. So anything could happen if we get an opportunity. But right now, it's about still leaving enough capital in your account to have funds to trade with today, the next day, and never put yourself in a position to take too much of a loss to where it's like really hard to recover. So even though I'm down on AMD and down on Apple, I was able to get like a third of my losses back just on SPY puts. So just on those SPY puts, I was able to get back a third of my loss in just one trade. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. Putting yourself in a position to where your risk is manageable, to where it only takes 1 or 2 trades to make those losses back if you do have some unfortunate losses. And that's what I've been able to do right now today. I'm up $200 on the day. I came into it with an unrealized P&L of 5. That's almost a third. That's more than a third of my losses back in one day. So it's going to be very easy to recover, and the day is not even done yet, right? It's only 10:40 in the market. And we're still currently up 120 on SPY. Still currently up 120 on SPY for the day. All right, 123 there. Over on SNOA, 60 bucks. So far, $200 a day, and I had $600 of unrealized loss, right? You add these unrealized trades up. The RPX swing trade not working. AMD swing right now not working. Apple swing not working. That's $600. And today I'm up 2. I'm up 2. So again, that is a third of what I'm down in one trading day as a recovery. So again, it's a good recovery and putting myself in a position to make sure that I have funds available. I'm not taking too much of a loss to where I can't recover from it. Good job, Corey. Currently up 47 on one SPY put. Nice. Again, it took a little bit of time. Definitely took some heat, but overall, the technicals were sound into yesterday's close and low. It did chop around a little bit. It definitely shook some traders out, but again, it overall went into its trend. Broke out of that wedge, and now we're starting to see it really sell on off a little bit. And again, I'm looking to cover 100% of those puts. If we reverse, which is a higher low and a higher high, we see a reversal on a lower time frame. That's when I exit, or when we become oversold on the 5. Absolutely, Ben. I do think the market will go green again. I think by next Friday, we see it grinding back up to all-time highs. I know, right? Crazy. I'd say a week to 2 weeks, we see it back up in the 447s. Unless we still get some just really bad news and negative news, and we crack below 431, below 431, I think we have room to like 420. But again, if we hold these technical levels up and we see the similar rebound that we've seen the last few times, right? Nice rebound, nice rebound, nice rebound, right? There's your trend line. Down at the trend line, down at that 61.8 fib, we could see a nice little rebound. I do think in the next couple of weeks, as long as we hold those key technical levels, that we do see the SPY back up into those all-time highs. This is why we exit trades. When trades are not working with us. Why did we take the trade on SNOA? Aim to the trend line, bounced, higher low, took the position. We started to see the weakness. We started to see the crack. We exit, we get out, we walk away. And this is why we have stop losses. Imagine not stopping out for a $3 loss. That's what my loss was, guys. It was $3. Didn't like the trade. It was going against me. I walked away. Imagine me holding this trade. I'd be down $50. But instead, I'm down 5. Does that make sense? That's why we always have stops. And if you realize you're starting to become on the wrong side of the trade and the trade's not working with you, go ahead and just walk away from it. Just walk away. You can get back in. Unfortunately, yeah. Unfortunately, I am. So right now, just like yesterday, a lot of iffiness in the market. SONN all over the place. BIOC, nasty flush, not doing much right now. SNOA, not able to hold any level up, fading. Right now, the market's just like the market was yesterday. Choppy and slow. Choppy and slow. I thought we were warming back up on Tuesday with VRPX. But again, we saw a lot of choppiness yesterday. We're seeing the same kind of price action today. It's really good to just be able to sit on those sidelines, guys, right? It's really good to be able to sit back, sit on the sidelines, and just be patient. Be patient. You don't have to trade, right? Only trade the best of the best. Only trade the best of the best. Right now, I may be in a position to maybe start cutting some more SPY just because I am up, and I do like to secure those profits when I have them. We are losing volume along the pullback, so at any point in time, we could see a reversal on the SPY back above the VWAP. Again, as we are selling off, we are losing selling pressure. We're losing selling volume. That's an indication that we're not gaining strength. We're losing strength from sellers. That is a potential signal that we see this reverse coming on up. But again, I'm going to try and hold these as long as I can to continue the rock and roll, to continue to lock in some profits. How do the SPY options look right now? Right now, it's 120 bucks on the day. That's about a 50% return, 43% return. Not a bad return. Thinking about starting to go ahead and lock in even more of these, just because it's profit. It's guaranteed right now. I have profit on the table. Right, and I have 2 of those left. I might as well just go ahead and lock them in. I mean, I'm up 40%. It's not every day you get a quick little 40% return. So going to give it a few more moments. If we crack below 437.50, I'm still okay. Above VWAP, I'm going to go ahead and lock in those profits on those puts. This candle closes back above the 9, I'm out. Right, as long as that 9 EMA holds this down as resistance, it's okay. Want to continue to see if that 9 EMA just continues to pull this stock down. We do have, getting ready to 120 on the way out here. We're getting ready to hit that sell button on the last 2 SPY puts that I had. Possibly. I have an order at 120. If I see it pop, probably over like 437, like 85-ish. I'll go ahead and just click sell and get my fill. If we can continue to drop below 437.50, we're still making money on those puts. Yeah, absolutely. 1 second. I want to see if I'm getting ready to close my position here. And I'm going to go ahead and close it out, guys. So I'm 100% out of SPY puts. And right when I close it out, we see that little dumperoo there. It's all good. What was the P&L on SPY for the day? $110. 110. Not bad. I still think there's still opportunity here. But again, I went ahead and just locked it up. Thinking I'm leaving a little bit. I'm definitely leaving a little bit of money on the table, but hey, 50% is 50%, guys. 110 bucks, not bad. Checking out JMIA. JMIA. Looks like I've already analyzed this one, and we had support drawn up towards around 1737. Trying to figure out why I drew up support at 1737. I don't really see any reason to have 1737 drawn up, to be honest with you. So I'm like, okay, why did I put that support level there? Oh, off yesterday's lows. Did I look at JMI yesterday? I don't even know if I looked at JMI yesterday. Anyway, yeah, I mean, off yesterday's lows at like 1737 would be a great area to see this hold on up. If not, you're looking to come down towards around that $16 level would be the next level of support there on JMIA, right around 16 bucks. Looking to see if this one can hold above yesterday's lows at like 1730. I mean, that would be your support right off yesterday's lows at 1730. Or all the way down towards around that $16 level next if we crack below 1730 on JMIA. ESGC. Let's look at ESGC real quick. Is this one making a comeback? I mean, it could. It needs to get back above 74 cents. Once ESGC's back above 74 and holding, that's when we could see some hype move in. That's when we could see some action move on in here to ESGC. It's got to get back above that 74-cent level first. And once it does that, we have room to 84 and then room to $1. But again, it has to get back above 74. If it's below 74, I would be more shorting that play. I'd be more short biased. So what can we do on SNOA? Well, we can grab ourselves a nice little trend line and go ahead and run it right off those highs. I would probably connect it from there to there, and that's how I would do my downtrend. Right like that. We are right at that 970 level. Let's see if we get any kind of setup here on SNOA for the reversal. Let's see if we can get any kind of setup here for a possible reversal and a downtrend break on SNOA back above 1040. Here about 8 minutes, we're going to dive into a little bit of an afternoon lesson. And today, we're going to be talking about indicators, guys. We're going to be really focusing on the VWAP. Tomorrow, we'll be talking about SMAs and EMAs. Next week will be our indicator week, talking about the top indicators, how to use them, why we use them, and the popularity behind them as well. So again, we're going to start that with the VWAP tomorrow, SMAs and EMAs, and then diving more into the popular indicators next week. So yeah, that was a good time to get out of the SPY. So I thought I was a little early getting out, but honestly, that was a really good time to get out of the SPY. Now we're starting to see it curl on over. Good short, pulling back. Now we're looking to see if we can start to recover here a little bit. So what's going on here with ENSC? Oh, that's the host satellite symposium news. So what we can do on the SPY, right, is the SPY, we can really use the fibs, right? So let's go ahead and just clear everything out real quick. And let's start fresh. So let's see, from low of day to high of day. We just pulled back to the 61.8 fib. Just pulled back to the 61.8 fib, and we can see that fib was being honored before you could even draw the fib, right? Look at how the fib was being honored through these levels, even before you can grow from low day to high day. That tells you that, hey, that fib is going to be respected. Now we can go ahead and do a Fibonacci extension, right? If it's going to continue to leg it down, we'll go ahead and draw our Fibonacci extension to see where it could go back up. But if it continues to break and rip over those fib extension levels, it's very strong. We could see it move a lot higher. So fib extension from high to that low, back up to the high. And that right there is going to give you an idea of how high it could go. And right there, it popped right back up to the 50%. So let's keep that extension on watch And if it's strong and if it's going to continue to rip, then it's not even going to be held down by any of these levels. But if we start to see some like a double top, right? We see it double top here off the 50 and it recracks the 61.8. That could be a good short entry for the next leg down. But right now, that's a pretty substantial bounce right there on the SPY. That's a pretty substantial bounce right there on the SPY. I mean, took forever to bring it down, but now it's just rocketing right back to the upside. So we may have hit our low point today in pre-market on the SPY. We may have hit that low point this morning in pre-market on the SPY. Like, we could already start to see the SPY start bouncing back up. If the SPY does break and hold over the high a day, over 440, I think we start to see the grind back to the upside a little bit sooner than what we had expected. So right now, look, it just broke above the 50% extension. Watch that 50% extension. The hold up as support now. Look for buyers to buy off that 50 and watch it to continue to grind to the upside. If it's going to get rejected and fail and fade, we do not want to see it closing above 439.10. If it's closing and trading above like that 439.10, watch for it to retest 440 on the SPY. Watch for it to retest 440. That's a pretty strong bounce here, though, guys. That's a very strong bounce on the SPY. I mean, we could be recovering today. I mean, we could start to see a very nice day and start to see that recovery earlier than what we expected. Look at that, right above that 439. The SPY is very strong right now. It definitely had a nice bounce to it. I would not be shorting it. I would not be shorting it now at all. I'd really just be observing. That's a hell of a move on the SPY, just straight up. Let's see if it holds on up. Let's see if it, rips, consolidates, and continues to grind to the upside. Maybe we see that, again, that recovery a lot sooner than what we had expected. Yeah, I love fibs. I love fibs on larger priced stocks. Not so much all the time on pennies. I still will use them to help gauge my entries if they're respected. But fibs with large cap plays, 100%. 100%. So AMD is starting to come out of the red. AMD is up 24 today. Apple is still currently down, but we can see that the SPY recovering, the SPY having some action. We're starting to see some of these swings recover just a little bit. So that's why I wasn't too concerned of like getting scared out, because I wanted to wait to see what the SPY did today and tomorrow to see if, we still have some opportunity to maybe recover some of the losses from Apple and AMD. So right now, AMD is slowly coming out of the red just a little bit. Apple's slowly working its way back to break even on the day. Right now, let's see what the SPY does the rest of the day, guys. Right now, if we're looking at options, we're looking at the SPY. The SPY's ripping, the SPY's running, the SPY is moving. So this is where our focus should be, and that's what I said from the start of the day, right? They're cheap contracts. Cheap contracts. Doesn't take a lot. You don't need a huge move on the SPY, right? That move right there was a $110 trade on a $200 investment, right? It was on a $300 investment, but that's still not bad. That's like 40%. And that SPY is just screaming to the upside. I wonder if it consolidates and then continues the rip higher. Looking at the 5-minute chart, right? The bounce is healthy. We have increased volume along this bounce. So again, with that being said, it shows some interest from buyers. Let's see if the SPY can get a new little high a day and really start to see this bounce back on up. So the SPY over 440 does have room to 440. 440.86 would be the next area that we see some issues with the SPY as far as resistance. I mean, that's very strong resistance, but if it breaks over that, I think we start to really see this grind back up here over the next couple of days. It would then have some room up towards around like 443-ish, 442.87 there on the SPY. And then over that, you know, I don't think there's any issues getting back into the 447s. So SNOA is really giving a lot back, right? SNOA is really giving a lot back. So right now, I don't really have any hope for it until we see it transition, right? Until we see it actually start to reverse out of this downtrend to an uptrend. This thing has room to fall all the way to $7, guys. All the way to $7 is where this has room to fall on SNOA. Right now, I do not see any reason why I'd be trying to nail any bounces, right? I mean, this thing is just getting destroyed to the downside. EIOC, nothing. SONN, nothing. ESGC, nothing. ENSC, really odd press release on this play, but again, it is getting some hype. This one over 550 has room to 650. Give me 1 second, team. I do need to step out of the office. Give me about 2 minutes. I will be right back with you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and dive into a little bit of an after